Hey everybody, Jillian here to bring you a brand new Bible journaling process video. For today's video, I'm going to be using some pieces from the brand new collection Fruit of the Spirit from Illustrated Faith and Bella Boulevard. And I'm just going to show you really quick what I'm using. The ephemera pack or the paper pieces, it has all these really cool fruity pieces. The clear stamp set, which is shrunk down now to 3x4. There's the sneak peek of the card I'm going to use, and then the sticker sheet, which is called Say It Loud, and that's actually replacing the fundamental sticker sheet that used to come with the collection kit. That's like a 12x12 sticker sheet. So you can see the collection kit here. If you were to pick these up together, you'd get all of these patterned papers. There's 2 of each, double-sided, and then you get the sticker sheet with it. So I actually, before I recorded, knew I wanted to use that 3x4 card, and so that's why it's missing. So I'm just going to go through the papers really quickly here, show you what they look like. Like I said, you get 2 of each. I love this lemon print. I think that would be really fun to cut up and use some little teeny tiny lemons on some entries. And then this bird paper, which is beautiful. And then on the back, it's got this really pretty like peach polka dot pattern. And then the pineapples are adorable too. This community loves pineapples. And then the back side of this one is probably my favorite. All of the fruits of the Spirit mentioned in Galatians 5 in Katie's beautiful script. So that's it, just showing you here that those 2 come together, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So like I said, the inspiration for this page was this card, "By their fruits you will know them." Jesus, of course, saying this in Matthew 7:20, talking about false prophets. So for this entry, I'm going to use the Liquitex Heavy Body Acrylic Paint in Light Portrait Pink. It's like the unofficial paint color of Illustrated Faith, right? A lot of people have it and love it, and I am no exception. So I'm going to use the card swiping technique, keeping it super simple just to get some color on the page. I really like how this coordinates with the kit, and I'm going to put it in 3 places like I usually do to create a little triangle. Sometimes I'll look for some blank space or some like paragraph breaks when I'm covering the text with paint, but you could still read what it says with the amount of paint that I put on it. But that's kind of like my thought process behind that. So here is a very quick look at the paper pieces. I'm just going through them and deciding which ones I want to go ahead and use with this card. I don't want things to be too large, like that peach. Although I love it, it's not going to make its way onto the page. I'm also looking for some tabs and some things like those crosses there that would be really fun, like finishing touches. And so because the card is pink and red, I really want to keep the color scheme in the pink and red family. So just keeping out the things that I think I might want to use. Nope, that guy's too big. Gotta go back. Save him for another day. So I won't use everything that you see here, and there's actually even more included with this collection than I showed you. I just didn't want it to like seem like a commercial about the collection, and really just wanted to show you what I was planning on using. So I think there is the clear stickers, which are called scripts, that go with this, and it's each one of the fruits of the Spirit, again in Katie's handwriting. And then you've got the larger tip-ins called the shapes that I didn't use because I wanted to use the cards. So a couple things that aren't included in the collection that I didn't show at the beginning. I also didn't show the washi tape, but I will end up using it later on for this page. Anyway, let's talk about the verse I'm using. There is the washi tape. So again, like I said, I want to keep it to the pinks and reds and things like that. So I'm gonna tear off the phrase that's in those colors and then just use that at the bottom of the page underneath the scripture that I'm referencing. And so since the word fruit is orange, I'm gonna give myself permission to bring a little bit of orange into the entry. So Jesus is talking here, and he says in verse 15, "Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit you will recognize them." And that's what I'm going to be journaling about. I didn't want to tape the journaling card down. Whoa, zoom. I didn't want to tape the journaling card down and cover up that big section of the page, so I ended up just using one of those little clips in the Eve's Mix colors and used the orange one to get that down. And I didn't really wait for the paint to dry either, at least not on my paint mat. You're going to see I get a lot of paint on, well, I get some paint on the back side of this page. I'm using this really fun, like asterisk almost shape that's included in this stamp set, just kind of like a background element, and then I'm going to layer stuff on top of that. Whoops, there you see, had a little paint. Now I have my color scheme set for the entry if I decide to do it in Matthew 6. So I'm just going to put the card back in there now that I have like the background stuff done, and then try and figure out what else I want to put on here. I really liked this green branch, but I think it was too big and I couldn't figure out a way to use it that I liked, so I'm going to fidget around with it a bit longer and then decide to move on to something else. So I don't want to keep talking about like the product, but I'm just going to mention it. You know, you think fruit of the spirit, and if you're thinking, well, there's really only one passage that talks about the fruits of the spirit and like lists all of them, you'd be right. But there are so many places here, for example, that you could use these pieces that talk about fruit. Like there are even stickers on here that have the individual like fruits listed at, like faithfulness, self-control, and a bunch of other things like love and trust and stuff on there. And so this is absolutely a really versatile collection. I'm looking forward to using it a lot in the coming weeks. Next, I'm just working on this cluster here, figuring out what I want to do. I was kind of fidgeting around with it a bit more than I would like. I like adding these guys in my clusters too. So I'm just going to continue layering things, layering these stickers. There are so many on the sheet. So just looking to see what other enamel hearts I may want to use. I'm going to double down in this area here. And then I'm wanting just one more thing, so I decided to pull the clear stamps back out and just stamp another one of these little shapes. And then because I'm not sure what else I want to add on the page at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and get started on my journaling. Just writing a really simple prayer out here. I actually read after verse 20, and Jesus says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?' Then I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers.'" So kind of incorporating that into my journaling too, and then underlining everything. Now I can go back to the sticker sheet, so I'm just gonna put a few more finishing touches on here, getting my date stamped down, and then realizing that I think I want to go ahead and flip back to Galatians 5 here to the passage about the fruits of the Spirit, because I want to reference it on this page, and I'll probably do that for every single entry using this collection, right? And it just simply says, which fruit? Galatians 5, 16 to 25. And then deciding to go ahead and outline most of the stickers that are on this page just to give them a little more presence on the page. And then I decided to go in with the strawberry stamps. They were just too fun not to use. I just used the outline stamp, wanted to keep it super simple. I had a little bit of space on the page, and I'm gonna add about 3 onto the page. I mean, look at how cute they are. There's just little whimsical, sketchy strawberries. And one more asterisk, or part of one, to fill in that space up top. And that's gonna do it. Here is a finished look at my entry along with a couple of close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I've got everything I use linked in the video description below if you guys want to check it out, or head on over to my blog, hellojillski.com, to get even more info about the products I used. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday with a brand new Bible journaling process video.